welcome to my views and news. Another video for you. Firstly, viewers, Western Tigray, Volkayet, Humra, Sagade. Status of Western Tigray was one of the main reasons behind the start of this third round of fighting on the 24th of August. But have you seen any statement from any TPLF leader, TDF general in the past 2 weeks or so about Volkayet, Western Tigray? Why is Tigray regional government silent about Western Tigray, about Volkayet? Is Tigray government going to abandon its claim to Volkayet? Secondly, Oromo Liberation Army is making territorial gains in Western Oromia, which is OLA's stronghold. Valaga. In West Valaga, OLA has captured a major town. The OLA was under drone strikes a few days ago in central Oromia, but in western Oromia, OLA seems to be making swift territorial gains. Firstly, viewers, Volkayet, Humra, Sagade, Western Zone, which shares border with Sudan, Western Zone of Ethiopia, which was part of Tigray before the start of this conflict in November 2020. It's a strategic area, and Tigray says that it is essential part of Tigray. Constitutionally, it is part of Tigray. Amhara region has claims to this zone too. And now Amhara forces, Eritrean military perhaps as well, and Ethiopian National Defense Force. They're in control of this zone. Since November 2020, when the war broke out, after a few days of the start of the war, ENDF Amhara forces, Eritrean military, they took control of Western Zone, Western Tigray, Humera Volkayet, Sagade. Since then, Tigray regional government, TPLF leaders, they have been saying that Western Tigray is integral part of Tigray. No talks. It is non-negotiable. And if you remember, before the 24th of August, Tigray leaders, TDF General Varade, Getachew, they were heard saying, they said that if there was no solution to the continued siege of Tigray, to the issue of Western Tigray, Tigray would be forced to adopt military means. Then we saw start of fighting in August, at the end of August. And Tigray forces tried their best to capture Volkayet. Before the start of this third round of fighting, Tigray had prepared its forces on Sudan, side of Sudan-Ethiopia border. And we saw intense fighting close to Humra for days. And from Mesebre side to Tigray forces tried to enter Volkayet. But TDF could not make any major advances into Volkayet. So TDF had to abandon its plans to take back Western Tigray. And then TDF was pushed back from the areas to the east of Western Tigray, from Shire at the RK Road. TDF has been pushed a little to the east. From northern Tigray as well, TDF has lost Shiraro and other areas to the south and west of Shiraro too. And we have not seen any statement from any Tigray leader, TDF general, in the last 2 to 3 weeks about Volkite. Reportedly, Western Tigray is not part of these discussions, ongoing for more than a week now in South Africa. Discussions between Tigray regional government and Ethiopian federal government. Tigray's first and foremost priority is stopping of war now. Tigray wants immediate cessation of hostilities. It means Tigray forces are not in a position to take control of Western Tigray at this point of time. Tigray is fighting for its survival. It is gradually Tigray forces are going into defensive mode. They are adopting guerrilla warfare. That is why no discussions about Western Tigray, Volkai, Sagadumara in the ongoing peace talks. Some say talks about Western Tigray will be held at a later stage. If this first round succeeds, if ceasefire is announced, then at a later stage, after a few days, weeks or months, Western Tigray could be under discussion. But this development shows that TDF is not in a position now to get any favorable response from Ethiopian federal government about TDF's claim to Western Tigray. That is why TDF has been forced to temporarily abandon its claim to Western Tigray. I am not saying TDF has permanently abandoned its claim to Western Tigray. That will not happen. But temporarily, TDF is not talking about Western Tigray. That is why its leaders all are silent. They're only talking about atrocities being committed in Tigray, about stopping of war, about delivery of aid to the people of Tigray. No mention of Western Tigray, which was a key demand of Tigray regional government a few months ago. That just shows that Ethiopian federal government has a significant military leverage at the table. And that is why it talks about disarmament, about Badme, about transitional government in Tigray. And we did not hear from any source. We have not heard from any source so far that Western Tigray is part of ongoing negotiations. Secondly, viewers, Oromo Liberation Army is making territorial gains in Western Oromia. Pictures are being shared by OLA fighters from West Valaga, where OLA has captured some towns. Mandi has come under OLA control. Manasibbo, Latasibbo, Kilso, Zerra in Mandi have come under OLA control. Western Oromia, Valaga, OLA stronghold. OLA is consolidating its control of the areas. It's consolidating control of the areas under its control and is gaining control of new territories too. And from Valaga, OLA has been trying to penetrate West Shiva. It is already in West Shiva, but in West Shiva we have seen several operations launched by Amhara forces in border areas, ENDF and Oromia Special Force to push back OLA from Central Tigray, from West Shiva towards Valaga. And we have seen several drone strikes in recent days against OLA, drone strikes in West Shiva, in parts of Valaga as well. But still, OLA is advancing in several areas of Valaga. OLA is administering regions, administering areas where OLA appointed administrators are working. Local government is under OLA in several areas of Western Oromia. But again, no signs of any advance towards Addis Ababa. People say, Sajid, OLA is about to reach Addis Ababa. You downplay OLA's military capabilities. I don't downplay OLA's military capabilities, but OLA is not about to reach Addis Ababa. It is still a guerrilla force which is fighting away from Addis Ababa. It is not an army. Can it turn into an army from a guerrilla force, from an armed group? That remains to be seen.